Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I am that dude, Bodkins. Patty to patty. It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkin Show. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bodkin Show. It is normally our Wednesday weekly wrap-up show. I know it's Thursday. It's not Wednesday. But I was tired of this yesterday morning. So things happen, man. I've got a lot of, family dad duties going on. It's a busy time here at the Bodkins household. Soccer games, basketball games. So I just couldn't get the body moving yesterday morning to get down and entertain y'all. But I'm back this morning to do our weekly wrap up. If you missed it last night, please go check it out. Our NFL Week 2 preview show. We picked every game against the spread. We picked every game. Kenny and Craig at the back end gave you some fantasy advice, get you ready for your Week 2 NFL matchup. We did some start sits. We had a special guest. Johnny Cruz came on of the Let's Talk Fins podcast. He helped us pick every sport or every game. So please, I implore you to head over there after this. Check that out. It'll be on Spotify and Apple Podcast a little bit later today, but it's on the YouTube and everything else. Was able to catch the back end of the Bodkins and Buffoon on Monday, so check out what Tanner. I missed the first half, but check out Tanner and the boys at the Sports Buffoons. They're always putting a lot of great content. Did a lot of Chiefs stuff last night, I know, as they were also doing their Week 2 preview. And then always check out my guy Dan Harris at Let's Talk Sports. If you got a team, whatever team you represent, they got it covered. Every division, every team, he's breaking it down with guys, different podcasters all over the world representing their teams. And then every Thursday night, anytime there's an NFL game, Dan has got sections cut off. There's a preview pre-show, there's a halftime show, there's a post show for every game. So hit the Let's Talk Sports button and follow. And then always, boys and girls, ladies and gents, make sure you hit that bell in all those three places: the Bodkins channel, the Let's Talk Sports channel, the Sports Buffoons. Make sure you're checking those guys out, hitting the little bell so you know when they're going live. Get that nice little notification. Again, we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you could do me a favor and just head over there, hit a nice little, give us a nice little 5-star review and hit the subscribe button. Even if whatever you want to listen to us on, or whether it's, YouTube or one of, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But just shows that we're growing. Even just you don't have to watch us multiple times, because I know you're probably sick of me after one time. But it just helps me out if you got us on multiple platforms. So that was the week that was in my life and things like that. Let's get into the week that was sports. I'm not going to dig into the NFL really, because again, we do that so much already. Sunday night we had our NFL Week 1 wrap up, and then last night we did the NFL Week 2 preview, and then this Sunday we'll be doing an NFL Week 2 wrap up show Sunday night about 8:30, 8:45 Central Time Zone. So these weekly wrap-ups probably won't, unless something happens where I'm just like, oh my God, I got to talk about this. Most of that time, all that NFL information will be saved for those shows. But let's get into college football. Sorry, kids, Daddy was wrong on the picks. Went 0-2 last week, 1-3 on the year on the old college picks. But it was upset Saturday, last Saturday. Alabama, I thought Texas, and I was hoping Texas was going to pull this one out. Just 20-19 win. Alabama was favored by 20-something. So kudos to Texas. Their stud quarterback Ewers got hurt. He was out most of the game, but Texas still stuck around. Alyssa Lindy, a huge Bama fan, just says, now, Nick, hey, sorry, Alyssa. I mean, Texas almost pulled that out. I like to see the huge upsets. I mean, to be up a 20-point favorite going into Texas shows you how good Alabama is and what people thought of Texas. And Ewers goes down. Alabama survives. Texas missed a field goal. Was in the end of the first half that would have gave them lead, and it was a makeable field goal. They missed that field goal. Bama loses, or Bama hangs on to win. That was one of the almost major upsets, but it got worse, folks. I mean, when I say last Saturday was upset Saturday, I mean, wow. Let's get it. Notre Dame lost. To Marshall. Notre Dame lost to Marshall. This goes to show you why is Notre Dame every year, just due to their name being Notre Dame, gets ranked somehow in the top 10. And they haven't proved anything. And right now they're proving less. Marshall comes in, to Notre Dame and beats them 26-21. Get Notre Dame out of the rankings. Get them out. Get them out right now. Get them out. I don't know what Notre Dame's ranked this week, but they should not be ranked. How does that happen? You let Chad Pennington walking through that door, Randy Moss walking through that door for Marshall, Byron Leftwich walking through that door. The answer to them questions is no. But clearly, Joe Montana and Tim Brown and Rudy's not walking through the door for Notre Dame either. Who else? Oh, another big loss we got to talk about here too. Texas A&M. Texas A&M, they pay out Jimbo Fisher all that money, pay Appalachian State to come in. They pay Appalachian State. So when these small schools go to these major universities, they pay that small school a lot of money to come play them, to get beat down. It's like Alyssa's commenting here again. Thanks, Alyssa. Yeah, $1.5 million. That leads me to what I was talking about here. $1.5 million. Marshall and Appalachian State get paid to go to them places. You get paid pretty much to come in. Hey, let's just run a practice. We're going to pay you $1.5 million. You're supposed to lay down like a dog. We're supposed to drub you. It's supposed to be a 45-3 slacking. You get a little bit of experience. Maybe we'll poach one of your guys at the end of the game to transfer. But that didn't happen. Appalachian State, every decade or so, a decade or so, they go into a major school and they beat them. Just like beats Texas A&M, just like they beat Michigan. Remember when they beat Michigan? That was like a decade ago. So once every decade, Appalachian State goes into a place and a D1 school, and they beat them. They go into Texas A&M, win 17-14. How about that? 17-14. Nice, nice win for Appalachian. Texas A&M's got to be. Texas A&M, they had. First we got Jimbo Fisher's having this beef with Nick Saban about NIL deals. They're going back and forth. Everybody's behind Texas A&M. Texas A&M looking, they're supposed to be this juggernaut, right? They've had the number one recruiting class this year. Now, I know most of those guys probably aren't playing. They're redshirting a lot of those guys. But still, you only scored 14 points against Appalachian State? What are you, Iowa's offense? Get out of here. That was the major upset. The two games I gave you definitely went wrong. Kentucky, man. Is Kentucky for real? They went into the swamp. Or never mind. They went into the swamp and put it on Florida. 26-16. Ugh. Wow. Sorry, I got that one wrong. I was buying into Florida. I guess Kentucky might be for real. I don't know. Then the other game I gave you, I was on the Baylor train. The boys are on BYU. The Mormons put it on the Baylor Bears. 26-20, 2 overtime game. Wow. So let's get into this week. And we're looking at some picks here. I always like to give out the pick those top 25. Where's my pen at? There it is. Those top 25 games. Looks like it's BYU and Oregon. BYU going to Oregon. Oregon minus 3.5. Yeah, I'm hammering the Ducks here. I know I picked against BYU last week, but I'm hammering the Ducks. Lock it in. I'm all in on Oregon, baby. And then we got the U 2-0. The Hurricanes going to that Texas A&M, looking for that bounce back. Texas A&M minus 5.5. It's been a long time since the U was the U. And for all you kids out there, at one time the U was in the 80s, the 90s. The U was Alabama. I mean, that's what the U was. If you just turning out pro after pro after pro, they were a semi-pro team, man, for real. I'll put the 2000 or 99, 2000, 2001, that 3-year run of Miami and the guys that they turned out against any team in the history of college football. I mean, at one time they had Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, and who else was it? Another great running back. I can't think off the top of my head, but they had, and then they had Kellen Winslow Jr. They had Jeremy Shockey. The only thing they never really had was a quarterback, but they didn't need him. Ken Dorsey was that guy for the U. But I mean, the U, the back in the day. So with that being said, I'm going to take the U at plus 5.5 over Texas A&M. Texas A&M, they might get the money line here to bounce back against Appalachian State. I mean, if they lose to Miami, it's going to get real loud at down in Aggies for the Aggies and Texas A&M. But I like the U at plus 5.5, baby. That kind of sums up our college part here in week one. It's college here for the week. They're getting into week 3. I mean, I gave my rant on Iowa last week. It didn't look any better this week, and they're still sticking with Petrus. So I'm not going to get my blood pressure piled up talking about the Hawkeyes. Some NBA news here. We got to talk about this, folks, because I really feel like this is flying under the radar right now. I don't know if it's not. Maybe I just have been busy and haven't really watched a lot of the ESPN and national news. But Robert Sarver he's the owner of the Suns. Now, he was suspended for a year, and he's forced to pay $10 million. What's $10 million to a billionaire? I mean, Jay-Z once said that line. What's $1 million to a billionaire? But what's $10 million to a multi-billionaire? But he's fined 1 year and suspended 1 year and $10 million. And this is what this man did here. He used the N-word multiple times, more than 5 times, in emails, phone calls, text messages, whether it was referring to people. Inadequate conduct towards females, sex-related comments, inappropriate comments. They interviewed 320 current and former employees. And you only get suspended a year? I mean, they kicked old boy from the Clippers out the league, and justifiably. This man out here using the N-word, he degrading women. I mean, what can we say? He's an old, rich, white billionaire, and he gets away with it again. I mean, old whites doing old whites things. That's what he was doing. And we have another chance to stick it to the old white man, and the NBA dropped the ball. LeBron James even said it. I side with LeBron James here. This isn't enough. They should have forced him to sell the team. I mean, was it Ballmer? Not Ballmer. That's the Clippers. Sterling. When Sterling was dropping the M-bombs and talking bad about Magic, they made him sell the team. And you got employees who are saying it was a hostile work environment. A lot of employees mad about the situation. And you only give them a year? You only fine them $10 million? $10 million. Not enough. Get him out. Get him out. It's people like that just think they're better than everybody. He thinks he's better than everybody because he's an old, rich, white billionaire. Get him out. He don't care about you or me. If he's using that type of language, treating women like that, he don't care. Get him out. Get him out. I mean, he's got to go. The NBA dropped the ball on this. Sterling, they dropped the ball on this. Not Sterling, the commissioner, Silver dropped the ball. They all dropped the ball on this. I 100% agree with LeBron James. Needs to get out, needs to sell the team. If you're a Suns player or a free agent, why would you want to go play there? Why? Right? I mean, I guess because Devin Booker and them boys, but what if they I wouldn't want to play there. I wouldn't. No way. I ain't playing for him. Why am I going to help him make money? Get him out. Got to go. Can't happen. It's not. This is 2022, almost 2023. We can't have that type of stuff here. Can't happen. Be better. Stop thinking that you're above everybody, you old whites. You give us other white people who ain't an old white and poor whites bad names. Because you're rich old white guys think you can get away with things. That's that white privilege everybody wants to talk about right there, folks. Get them out. All right, enough of that. Let's move on to our baseball. I mean, we got to get into some baseball here. I mean, how about this? I hate the Cardinals, y'all. I hate talking about the Cardinals, but I respect them, and I've said that, and I respect these two guys here. Adam Wainwright and Yadi Molina, 325 starts together. Pitcher-catcher combo. Broke history last night. It's probably a record that'll never be broken again, obviously. 325 starts. That's insane. They're going to do it again in the postseason. They'll probably have at least one or two more starts together this year. I think there's about two more weeks of the season left. So at least two more starts, one more start in the postseason. Then we'll see what I think they're probably both maybe going off in the sunset here. But that's a lot. That's a record that'll never be broken. Good for them. Both guys that stayed in St. Louis, never left. Kenny's chiming in here. Cardinals hate you too, bro. They don't hate me. They laugh at me. So the bully never hates the kid that they're picking on, right? So, but I mean, you got to give them credit. I mean, that's just something. History is being made there in St. Louis with them two guys, and they've been around. They've won, and they've been at the top of the game. It's not like they were like turds, you know what I mean? And it's like, two crappy guys. No, I mean, Yadi Molina has been one of the best catchers, if not the best catcher the last, 15 years. Defensively, definitely the best catcher the last 15 plus years. Adam Wainwright has been one of the best pitchers in this league, probably underrated pitcher because he doesn't play in those big markets. If Adam Wainwright was in LA, people would be talking a lot more about him. But because he plays in St. Louis, they don't talk enough about him. And I've seen Waino go out there and just deal when he needs to deal. And again, you guys, I'm a Cubs fan, so I'm not a Homer fan here, but I mean, you just got to give credit where credit's due. Kenny's chiming in here. You'll never have two dudes play for 17 years or whatever together. Exactly. It's not going to happen. Like that stuff's not going to happen. It won't happen ever again. And so, I mean, that kind of, and then one more news on the baseball here. We got to talk about this. Aaron Judge crushing it. 2 more home runs. 56 and 57 on the season. They said he is 20 home runs or more past the second place guy. That's never happened in baseball history, where the guy is 20 more home runs than the other guy. And if you really think about it, when a guy's approaching 50, or when he's hitting 50, I mean, he's going to get to 60, I believe. Was it 50? Or I might have wrote that down wrong. Let me look here. It might have been 47. I don't know. I thought no, 56 and 57 home runs. Yeah, I was right. But I mean, and when a guy is battling, it always seems like there's two guys, right? All the way back in the day, it was Mantle and Maris. When Maris broke 61, Mantle was there. You look at Babe Ruth, it was Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth hitting home runs, like two guys kind of pushing each other. It was McGuire and Sosa. Bond still, even while he was way ahead of everybody, still had some guys chasing him. But 20 home runs, I mean, Aaron Judge, folks, best power hitter in baseball. I mean, by a long shot. He just crushes home runs. There's not a guy right now that's even close to him. We got to talk about this, and you guys want to chime in on the old comments here. Who do you got for AL MVP? Because Aaron Judge, not only is he probably going to hit 60, maybe 61 and break the American League record, or, he hit 60, 62. That breaks the American League record, breaking Roger Maris's American League record, we know, which is obviously possible. 2 weeks left of the season. He's at 57. The problem is the Yankees, they're going to be playing some teams that are in the playoffs, so in the playoff chase. So it's not like teams are going to be pitching them, softballs. But he leads the league in home runs, leads the league in RBIs. He's 9 points away from the batting title. He's batting like 310. He's 9 points away. So he gets a little hot. Some guys fall back. He could win the American triple crown and put up those type of numbers where he's hitting close to 60 home runs, maybe more. Is he the MVP, or is it and the Yankees are headed to the playoffs now? We know they haven't looked good the last month and a half, or is it Shohei Ohtani, who leads his team in home runs, RBIs, batting average, and then, oh, by the way, he leads his team in wins, ERA, WHIP, but his team's absolutely dog shit. Who's the MVP? Because MVP is the most valuable player in the league. Now, a lot of times when we've seen it, they give it to the best player on the best team. And that's all sports. We know that. In football, they always give it to the quarterback. I mean, when was the last time a non-quarterback won the MVP? Was it Barry Sanders maybe? I don't know. I'd have to really look into it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was Barry Sanders, right? When was the last time a wide receiver won MVP? But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. So we see it in all sports where it's usually the best player and the better team. And I mean, the way the Yankees slumped in this half, the second half, almost even gives Judge more respect, because they'd be worse without Aaron Judge, just due to the fact that, he's carrying that offense. I don't know. I mean, Judge or Ohtani? Judge or Ohtani? I mean, it's a tough question. You could give it to either guy. What Ohtani's done has never been done before. That's the thing. We've never seen that. Not even Babe Ruth. He's surpassed Babe Ruth type stuff with his pitching and hitting. It just doesn't happen. So he's a unicorn, a mythical creature. But Aaron Judge is doing things also that, power hitters don't do, batting 310 and close to hitting 60 home runs, something that also we haven't seen in a long time. The last time we've seen that, guys, were, it's good debate. It's a good debate. I wonder how it'll go. There'll be some hurt people on the other side either way, whether it's Ohtani or Judge. Both guys are going to get paid a lot of money. Man, I can't wait to see what Aaron Judge makes this offseason. I mean, Good for Aaron Judge. I just love that. We talked about this before when a guy just bets on himself, and Aaron Judge is killing it. That's who my MVP is. I don't care. He bet on himself. He's killing it. He's hitting 60 freaking home runs, leading the league. I hate the Yankees too. God, I spent all my baseball talk talking about my two least favorite teams, the Yankees and the Cardinals. Shows you I'm not biased, folks. All right, let's get into our UFC talk here. Last Saturday, if you missed it, UFC 279, check out our Head Kicks and Haymakers show Saturday and Sunday. We covered the wildest 24 hours in MMA history, and then that was on Saturday's show, and then Sunday's show we broke down each fight. How about my boy Nate Diaz beating Tony Ferguson? Nice win as Nate has fought his last fight on his contract, walks out on top. You know, whether I do think he'll be back but it looks like he's going to go box Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul, somebody on the lines of that. But just able to sub Tony Ferguson in the fourth round. It looked like Tony was turning it there in the third. Looked like Nate was getting hurt. The legs were getting chopped down, but give it up for, Nate Diaz subbing Tony Ferguson. Nice win. And then in the co-main, you had Khamzat Chimaev just drag-rolled Kevin Holland. We knew that was going to happen. There's a fight that shouldn't have happened. I didn't like it for Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland probably should have just stayed and fought D-Rod. But I'm sure he got a nice bag by the UFC. I mean, Dana said, none of these guys got extra money. Dana, I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night, man. Come on. Nah, we know what happened. And then Dana's over here trying to bash everybody who thinks everything was a conspiracy. Bro, just be honest with this, Dana. Dana White thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. And he is a lot of times. But, he just thinks that we're all idiots. And he can't be honest with people. Snake in the grass, my friend. Snake in the grass. He was bashing Brandon Schaub because Brandon Schaub said it was kind of a inside type job. I'm gonna read some tweets here. Let me get to them. So let me try to find this tweet here. It was an interesting tweet. Brandon Schaub kind of fired back, but pretty much Dana said that if you believe it's an inside job, you're an idiot, you're a moron. You shouldn't believe that. It's these guys are professionals. Why would we do that? This and that. The gate was because people are saying, well, they were having trouble selling the pay-per-view. He said the tickets were already packed. And then so he was kind of bashing that. And it was Brandon Schaub, MMA journalist, was kind of the one that was saying that this is what happened. And I kind of said that. I kind of said that I believe, that this thing was kind of set up, right? It just didn't make sense. So I'm going to read Brandon Schaub's, his response here to Dana White's comments. Here we go. Oh, God, here we go again. I've been nothing but cool and thought you'd learn from the last time you mentioned my name and got destroyed. Unfortunately, not surprised. You're a bully. That's true. Dana is a bully. Always have been. You put on a pair of designer jeans and come to hip sneakers and think you're cool. You're still a dork with a frat boy vocabulary, calling me and numerous people dummy, dumbasses, effing idiot, because we have questions about the chaos at UFC 279. That's true. We haven't really got a full response of what happened. It's all this mythical stuff here. I was referring to pay-per-view buys, exactly. And UFC 279 was trending, which you don't release to the public, but we'll say it went Effing great, bro. Sorry, we just don't buy what you're telling us after lying numerous times. But the sheep media you pick to attend events don't have the balls to call you out. Just in the recent press conference, you were caught lying about extra compensation to the fighters. Exactly. Dana's like, none of these guys got extra money. D-Rod came out and said he signed a new 5-fight deal right before the ceremonial press conference, the ceremonial weigh-ins. Yeah, they had to pay these guys extra money. Get out of here, Dana. We're not dumb. Nobody's going to change all that fights on the same crappy pay scale that you were paying them. Let's see. Let's see. Reality check. You're surrounded by yes men. You're not special. You're not original. You're low. He calls him a low budget Vince McMahon. Every move you make is a copycat of that dude. Only thing you have in common is you're both on steroids and dressed like a-holes. Need I remind you, your origin story is a failed cardio kickboxer instructor who had 2 rich friends in high school to fund his business. Now go make a cool video with the Nelk Boys to stay relevant, or have your PR team come up with a good press story to distract the fans from fighter pay and how they have to wear those awful Under Armour rock shoes and won't see a dime. Dummy. P.S. Quit stealing my shows on Thick Boy Network and recreating it on Fight Pass. Also leave Pat Miatic alone. So, I mean, that was Brandon Schaub. I mean, to be credit, Brandon's got a lot of points there. I mean, I do think Dana tries to pull the wool over our eyes and think that we're all dummies. I mean, we can read the tea leaves here, man. It was just interesting. I'm very interested on those fights. What happened. Let's get into this Saturday's fight. Huge fight here in the bantamweight division. A title eliminator fight. Corey Sandhagen, who has fought for the interim title, has fought the top guys at the top of this division, taking on Song Dong Yang, a guy who I'm very high on. But this is Song's first main event. And I'm all in on the Sandman, man. I just think this is where he turns around. He's coming off 2 tough losses. He had a very hard split decision against TJ Dillashaw, who's fighting for the title. And then he also took a short notice fight against Peter Yan. But I'm all in on the Sandman, but I wouldn't be surprised if Song wins. But lock it in. Bodkins is in on the Sandman. Well, folks, that pretty much wraps up our weekly wrap-up. We'll be back on Wednesday with this show. This was just the old special Thursday edition. Appreciate everybody chiming in, tuning in. Again, be a friend, tell a friend, hit the nice little subscribe button, the share button, tell your friends about us. Again, if you want a Bodkins t-shirt, head over on to my girl's shop here, Yellow Alley Design Co. That's YELLO Alley Design Co. on Facebook or Etsy. She'll be putting out a link, getting everything ready for you to if you want to order a Bodkin Show t-shirt. I wore that on Sunday. So again, if you want to check that out, it's a nice little shirt with the cool logo that my boy John Lively from Lively Inc. Created. So got to shout out those. Shout out to Kenny Miller for creating some awesome graphics for us last night, putting everything together. Shout out to, again, all the boys at Let's Talk Sports and Sports Buffoons. So give us a nice little subscribe. Hit the, be a friend, tell a friend. Head on over to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. Hit the subscribe, get the 5-star rating. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back. I'll be back Sunday morning with Head Kicks and Haymakers, our 7 a.m. Central Time Zone. And then we'll have our NFL Week 2 post show on Sunday night about 8:30 Central Time Zone. So we'll see you guys then. This is another great episode of the Bodkin Show. We'll check you later, folks. Have a good rest of the week. Great weekend. Hopefully the Packers can freaking turn it around. Justin Jefferson did us dirty. Bad. All right. We'll see you on Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I am that dude, Bodkins. Patty to patty. It's ridiculous. No way. There's no.